So what inspired you to launch Alterrage? I hope I'm saying this correctly. And how does it aim to disrupt the traditional fashion industry?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. And so just a bit about me and my background. I've worked as a fashion designer for the past 15 years in New York. I'm American originally, and then moved to London, where, right, you guys are mostly based, and then in Paris for the past 8 years. And yeah, so working as a designer in a studio, it did bring like quite a bit of challenges, and that's what I think a lot of us are inspired by here, is how do we transform and take these unique opportunities and try to find solutions like circularity. So some kind of like challenges that I kept meeting was definitely around the sustainability aspect, and also around like the inclusivity social aspect within working in a brand. And so that's really what led me to found Alterrage in 2019. And it was during COVID. So yeah, we're all, sitting here virtually as well. And so, yeah, I took that and I ended up joining a community, which is something that, right, you had mentioned, like this idea of really like collaboration and coming together. And that's actually how I learned all about this thing called Web3, which is basically, I see it as like the new evolution of the internet. It's a new stack of tools that are really interesting to take and adapt to different industries. And I've took it to fashion. And so it's like, how can we use tools like blockchain, artificial intelligence, and 3D to just basically make fashion and the process of creating a brand more sustainable and more inclusive? So that's the ideal disruption. And yeah, since 2019, just figuring out through testing, through trial and error, what works, and then how to now bring that to brands at a larger scale.
100%. And could you explain your philosophy around the concept of smart fashion? But what is that?
Yeah.
What that is, and its importance for sustainability.
Definitely. Yeah. And shall I share my screen? I have some images that hopefully can also make it clear. All right, let's see. I work in tech, so let's see if I can make it work.
Yes, there you go.
All right. All good from your side?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, so these are basically like three components that I work with in my work with digital fashion currently. So what you just asked about, the method. I have kind of a holistic approach that now I'm sharing with brands and just anyone who's interested to get involved in this tech side of fashion. The brand is Alterrage, and that's where I've done a lot of the experimentation on different collections in collaborations with different partners. And then lastly, the studio is a bit of a new venture where basically working directly with brands to implement this method. And so I know you like methods, right? Systems, processes, circularity. We love it. So I created my own method called Brand Smart. And so basically it aligns with like 5 core departments in a brand. So that would be in design, in product development, in communication, campaign, and in showcase, and then more holistically at like a branding level. And so it's like, how do you take these different technologies and put it into kind of like the most strategic way in your brand? And so that's what this 5-step process is integrating 5 types of technologies into those departments while aligning with these core set of values around impact, social responsibility, sustainability, digital, obviously, and then identity. So it's a holistic approach that, I basically take brand owners and founders and designers through step by step.
Perfect. And that's to kind of that will boost their brand just as much maybe as having physical products, right? Because you'll be able to add to that brand aesthetic in the digital space, perhaps as technologies continue to grow and AI itself is like a massive uptake.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like what you see as a sustainable vision for their brand development aside of creating a whole bunch of stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. I think like my conclusion was, after working in fashion, is that the business model, it's quite difficult to change the business model of we need to sell product to make profit. Like that's just very integral to the fashion industry and how it works. So my thought is, if we, right, are so limited now by what we create physically, how do we extend that into the digital space? So I like how you said extend. So it's really about, starting with the foundation of what already exists in a brand, their core products, their heritage, their storytelling. And then how do you, integrate into these new verticals that put less of a dependency on the physical and then more around this opportunity of digital, where we all, currently are connecting and where we're showing up on social media, and soon in like gaming spaces is really taking off as well, along with AI. So